Kyle Kurtzer completed his first 100 for Northamptonshire, who batted through most of the third day of their LV County Championship match with Leicestershire at Grace Road after the second day had been rained off. Northamptonshire, with Kurtzer on 43, resumed their first innings on 99 for 3, and the former Durham player, having spent 18 balls on 49, reached his 50 early on off 109 deliveries. He was to go on from there for some while too. After a poor start to this summer, in which their top order really struggled for runs, Northants are just beginning to rebuild. They'll have taken a fair amount of confidence after beating Hampshire in their last match, in spite of a day of that game being lost to the weather. Kurtzer found fine support from Alex Wakely. The two had come together on the first day with their side not fully out of the woods on 88 for 3. This fourth wicket partnership was now starting to put them on top against their local rivals. Wakely was largely happy to nurdle, and there were only 4 fours in his 95 ball 50, which came with this shot off Claude Henderson. Leicestershire were really struggling to find a way through. Not even Robbie Joseph, with a wonderful record so far at Grace Road, could do that. This fine leg glance off him brought up the 100 partnership. And that stand for the fourth wicket between Wakely and Kurtzer was eventually worth 120, as this pair carried the total to 208. There, Leicestershire finally had some success after 43 overs of trying. Matthew Hoggard had chucked the ball to part-timer Josh Cobb, and he held on to a comfortable chance off his own bowling as Wakely departed for 63. Kurtzer was on 84 at the time, equalling his previous best for the county, and he didn't waste too much time in heading towards 3 figures, as even Ramnaresh Sarwan was given a go with the ball. Facing Joseph was going to be a little tougher than that, but Kurtzer, a Scottish international, thumped him through point to bring up what was only the 6th ton of his first-class career. It was a superb effort. He'd faced 232 deliveries in getting there, 12 of which he'd hit for 4. He celebrated by striking Joseph for 2 more boundaries in the same over. Almost identical shots, as Joseph didn't immediately make the most of the second new ball. Kurtzer was, of course, seeing the ball pretty well by now. Indeed, he was beginning to look almost unstoppable as he unleashed some gorgeous shots in Joseph's next over. With his skipper Andrew Hall admiring from the other end, the total moved on to 249 before Nathan Buck struck twice in the same over. Hall himself pulled a short delivery straight to Kadir Ali at mid-wicket after making 9. And 4 balls later, Kurtzer somewhat surprisingly nicked to Greg Smith to go for a 245 ball 120, an innings which should kick-start his Northamptonshire career. The sun was now beating down on Grace Road, and the 2 new batsmen, James Middlebrook and Niall O'Brien, advanced the total to 291. Hoggard then got in on the act by having the Irish wicket-keeper taken behind by Ned Eckersley after he'd made 13. David Willey then entered the fray and brought up his size 300 in style by driving Henderson back over his head for a maximum. He hit another 6 off the same bowler as the runs started to come rather too quickly for the home side's liking. Willey played some very forceful shots to ensure that his side were able to get a 4th batting bonus point before the declaration came. Willey ended on a rapid 45 and Middlebrook made 31, as Hall called his players in with a total on 352 for 8. Leicestershire needed to make sure that they didn't suddenly find themselves in trouble by losing a host of wickets before the end of the day. But after hitting Willey for that 4, Smith was caught behind off Chaminda Vars for 7 at 8 for 1. And that became 16 for 2 as Kadir Ali went in a similar fashion before he'd trouble the scorers. Matt Boyce and Sarwan did at least manage to see out the remainder of the day to take their side onto 38 for 2 by the close, meaning that they will go again on the final morning 314 runs behind.